Hi, this is Andy Frith from Sheffield Advanced Motorcyclists on an observed ride with Keith Hopkins and Alan Butcher on the 26th of April this year, 16. Here we are on Prince of Wales Road. We've come off the parkway and you've taken an offside position. This is Keith, running up to the traffic lights, which is the right position to be in. Good safety position, slightly to the offside of your lane. Just this clip here, you decide to move in from that good offside position to the near side, then you realise you're catching up that blue vehicle in front and have to move back out to the offside again. Whereas you could have maintained that position and got a clear view of these traffic lights. Slow ride up to the traffic lights, which is good, but you're almost on the limit there. Again, roll off sooner, because checking your mirrors would have revealed there wasn't much behind us at all, pushing up. Still on Prince of Wales Road, going over Manor Top, and again you've moved to the near side, which is okay just now, but looking for later we start to get a little bit balked by overtaking traffic. So we're doing just under 40 miles an hour here, albeit tram tracks on the right hand side, but there's a car that overtakes us and another one. And now it's presenting you with problems because you can't easily get out into the offside lane. So it's just a matter now of rolling off and letting those pass, and then we can move out. But not as much progress being made as you could have possibly done by a little bit more advanced planning and maintaining your offside position. Now you're signalling to come out and taking up a position in the offside lane, which lets us pass stationary traffic on the left on another slow ride up to the traffic lights, which again was quite nicely done. But again, you could have rolled off just a little bit beforehand to give you a bit more time, and so you're not really that close to the car in front, slow riding. Good decision into the middle of the tram tracks there. This is where the slow ride is, just to roll off a little bit early. You're just starting to wobble a little bit there. So an earlier roll off to increase the distance between you and the stationary vehicle would have been better. This was a good section up towards Jordanthorpe now. Now we have got an offside position, and this is the correct position to be in because the traffic's moving at roughly the same speed in both lanes, but we've got the option of going if we really want to. I'm into the tram tracks there, and then I think you'll come in as well. Yeah, there you go, that's good. Right, carrying on now towards Jordanthorpe, and this is a good example of the offside position you've taken. Coming up to the roundabout, we're going straight ahead, vehicles on the near side. It's by far the lane of easiest lane of least resistance. Looking at what's on the roundabout, we're clear and we're straight through, and exiting in the offside lane, and that's perfect. That's really good. So a little bit further down that road, I don't know why again, but you decided that you would come into the near side lane. A little bit of a drift towards this white van. I don't quite understand that again. The safety position would have been in position 3 on your lane. So we're quite close to it really on this for the overtake. We get past it, and we're travelling at just about 40 miles an hour here, probably just a gnat's under. But then you decide to drop in behind these two cars, which I can understand the desire to do so you're not balking anything coming up the bike. But we're not far off them, and we could have just squeezed a little bit more speed at this stage, because now when we move into this near side lane, we're definitely dropping below 40 miles an hour. And you'll see what happens next, because then we get two vehicles coming up on the offside, because they want to do 41, 42, and we're slower than necessary here. Could have maintained an offside position and taken those two vehicles, albeit slowly, because now we're in a disadvantaged position coming up to the roundabout, and again a third one, and you are now pushing for the centre lane, and you're really getting close to those overtaking vehicles. Coming up to Meadowhead roundabout here, same sort of thing. We're in the near side rather than taking a dominant position on the offside, and there's lots of vehicles overtaking you and pushing you, and this gets even more exacerbated as we get closer to the lights, because you can't really go anywhere, and then you're really starting to drift towards that lane. You see where I am in position 2 of our lane. You'd have been okay if you'd have just stayed left. Having said all that, the position there was offside lane, and then to drift left into this lane as we approach the roundabout. This is on the way to Holmesfield. Quite a good section this, nice positioning, and I just wanted you to have a look at how you were doing on the bends here. Good safety position there, position 1 over the brow of the hill and for the oncoming, and a nice cross view there. Look, you can really see what's coming on, so we could have actually hit the accelerator here and take these, but a good positioning. We could have thumped down here a little bit more, got up to the Nationals, but nevertheless I think you're taking on board what we were saying, and a nice drift towards position 1 for the slight hill and the right hander, and then across to 3 again. That was good. I like that, and moved away down into position 1 for the safety on the oncoming, and another oncoming staying in position 1. That was good. And it worked quite well. It was a nice flowing section. Again, great cross views, and a good safety position there for the jogger. Like that. Left-hander coming up and maintaining position 3. Yep, all good stuff. This is really coming on. And we're approaching Owler Bar now, and up to the roundabout. That was good. I like that. Here we are after Owler Bar now, running down towards Bamford. He effected quite a nice overtake on that car. There was just the issue of the cyclist. There was a cyclist on the opposite side coming in the opposite direction. Maybe just waited a second, but again, all good. Good positioning on this, and you got on it. This is a great cross view down here now, so we're dropping down, and you can see what's coming up. You've got a van in front of you and a car in front of the van that's quite slow moving, and I think the van does an overtake on the car, and then we start to catch up the van. Sorry, yeah, I've missed it off the clip, but this was the place to do the van, just after this cyclist, because you've got the great cross views and nothing coming. We discussed it on debrief, but you were too far back from the van to do it effectively when the opportunity presented itself. Van clears, and then it's quite a nice run down towards Bamford. Again, good safety position and a good position for the left-hander, like that. All good stuff. Keeping safety and then drifting out to position 3. That's good. Could have held that a bit more, but that's good. This section was we're in Nationals, and we were doing about 50. We could have pushed it a little bit more, but I understand it. You know, sometimes you got to feel comfortable doing it. It was okay, and good positioning all the way down. I like this one. Not much more to say about this, actually. You were hitting all the buttons there. Okay, now we've switched. We've had something to eat and a cup of coffee, and with Hopkins Butcher now. This is coming out of the shopping centre where we were, approaching Chatsworth. I've just included this clip because you two are also doing good positioning. It was a nice flowing section this towards Chatsworth, the bridge just before Chatsworth. Nicely done. Position 1 for the left-hander and the oncoming. Keeping that position there. You could sometimes just hold a little bit longer in position 1 there, just so that you maximise the view. But yeah, it was good. It was a good section. This is coming out to the bridge, I believe. Yeah. So we've gone through Chatsworth now, come out the other side, and we've got this overtake on, which was nicely done. But my concern here is that you've got a solid, and you're very close to the car. There's nothing you can do and if he does touch his brakes or you get a bit too close, you have to brake on the bend there. Again, solids, drop back and get the view. And as soon as it looks, alright, round this bend could be good, then you move up and bang, there you go. That's the one. You signalled as well, no need for a signal there, you're not informing anybody of what you're doing. It was a good overtake when it came, but a little bit too close in the following position prior to the overtake. It's always a balance, but there's no point in being up there when you've got solids. Good safety position on that cyclist there. Drifted over to 1 and didn't spot this lay-by parking area on the left. We got a car there, so you could have maintained position 3 all the way up to maximise your safety. But this was a good section again, and you were nicely varying the positions. Good safety position there on the oncoming. Solid whites, I know, but get over there. That's good, and it all looks good. This is quite nice. Again, hang over on the left a little bit longer. You're drifting into 2, but not bad. There, I don't understand that one. We could have gone out to 3, unless you got an early glimpse of that car. I wasn't sure on that one, but you hugged the inside curb, but it was safe in the end. Coming up the hill now, we're coming towards the overtake that you did, and I thought this was nicely set up. You waited for that oncoming, drifted out, had a look, signalled again, didn't need to, and bang, we got on it. I thought we were going to do 2 at least, but then you got that pain in your arm, and I could see something was wrong there. Your indicator was still on. I thought you're in a bit of difficulty, but that was no problem. That was a good setup on the overtake. Shame that you got distracted. This is coming into Chesterfield. You'd had a really good run down here, very safe position for parked vehicles on the left and right, and for oncoming vehicles. This was that reversing situation. You got quite close to this red van, whereas I hung back a little bit, and then you had to skew your motorcycle to start seeing what was going on, whereas I'd got a decent view from just hanging back a bit, and I could see in the distance that there were Pelican Crossing, which went to red just here. So now there's no other vehicles coming. That's why I started to move. I thought you might go, because you could see the red lights, and this was a dead space, so we could have actually slow ridden all the way up there on the offside without danger of anything coming on, just looking out for the vehicle that was reversing and messing about. We could have made it all the way to the front of this queue, whereas it was, we had quite a long way, and then we got oncoming vehicles after those Pelicans had changed. Eventually, whatever he was doing up there got sorted out. It wasn't a clever manoeuvre on his part, but we eventually started moving. This is the advantage of hanging back and letting situations develop, just taking a look rather than getting up close behind something and being stuck there. Now we're working our way through some housing estates in Chesterfield, just after the town centre. These ramps, this was in the main very good. Just wanted to point out the closing gap here on the parked vehicle on the left and that oncoming. On a couple of occasions you were still driving into the closing gap. That one again, just roll off a little bit early, let the oncoming vehicle pass and then go. But all in all, this was very good. This is now on the other side of Chesterfield going towards Eckington, and another overtake which was executed well, but again your following position was this was the physical position. Good safety position there for that vehicle on the near side, but here you drift to the left and you should be maintaining position 3 really. Got the oncoming, you could have drifted over there a little bit later on. This one again is definitely position 3 for this, because those whites could brake at any time. There they go, and you were in position 1. So you could have held on to that outside curve. Now you've got your view and you go again. An indication, not necessary, it's just something else to think about, and then you have to cancel it and all that sort of thing. So you concentrate on the overtake. There wasn't anything else around. He knew you were coming because you've been following him for a bit. But overall, a very good ride, I thought. Well done to both of you.